Hey, what's going on, everyone? We are at week 16. I can't believe we've made it. It's been a long season, but I'm here with our two analysts, Caleb, Dylan. Here we go, fellas. So we are finally here for championship week. Didn't think we'd make it. We made it through COVID. We made it through the trade season, the injuries, everything that's happened, and the
I
two
didn't
teams.
make it through the injuries, but some people did.
Well, Caleb, we can talk about that. But we've got Connor and Dylan as the final two for the championship for the second year. So Bryce could not get the back-to-back. It's
The
close.
fourth lowest scoring regular season team versus the highest. Who would have predicted that?
So let's start with that point. Caleb, because you love talking about Connor, we'll start with that. We'll talk about Connor, and then I'll talk about you, Dylan. So Caleb, Connor, you mentioned he's one of the lowest offenses, but yet here he is in the championship game, a chance to get the trophy, the money, everything. So how'd he get here?
How do you get here? You know how, they're in the NFL, they have it in divisions, which is stupid because sometimes you get divisions like the NFC East where they all completely suck.
Whoa. We can win any week. Any week we can win.
Every single one of them. But they have to put somebody in the playoffs. And because of somebody's easy schedule, Connor, he gets thrown to the playoffs. It's ridiculous. The worst team. How lucky can you get being the unluckiest team all year? Gosh. I'm so unlucky. They're all injured. Okay, 1,500 points champion score. Ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean,
And real quick, Matt, on that note, Connor's team.
Trump
I
may
agree
not be
with
your
Caleb.
president, but he's not my champion. Am I right?
I agree with Caleb. First half of the season, I did not like Connor's team, but I picked him second half, and I stand by it, and I hate to face him. I was scared of him. I thought the championship was going to be between you or Connor beating me in the second round. But I will say, heading into the finals, last year the winner of mine and Bryce's matchup won overall. Because Bryce beat me last year. We played again this year, and I beat him this year. I'll see what happens.
Shaking his head a little bit.
what was that, Caleb?
I was just saying Connor's probably already got sending a text message after he hears this. So I was just going to
It's probably true. So, we look at Connor's team real quickly, and this is a team that if you go back and look at his record, I mean, he was 4-1 through 5 weeks. He was off to an incredible start. Then from there on out, he had a 5-3 record. So he saw a few more losses. In fact, had a 2-game losing streak to me and Jake week 6 and 7. Then he got on a good winning streak, and then he lost week 13 by 1 point to Mason. So, look, this is a 9-4 record is just like you, Dylan. But again, the scoring, he had some. I mean, Dylan, he beat you in a week 4 matchup by 1 point. You remember that? You
Yep.
definitely remember that. And that was the only time that you guys have matched up all season. So this is your second chance.
I will do this. We've been hating on Dylan all year for his moves, trading big names. Dalvin Cook, please give him props. It worked. I mean, sure. Did I not like it? No, but it was a strategy that worked out for this year. We all had our strategies, and his strategies worked out. So cheers to Dylan. And cheers to Connor. His strategy worked out too, which is annoying. Yeah, I'm just going to give all the way of my good players to get better players in the end, but I'm going to win now with not good players. Usually those strategies don't work by trading for middle-of-the-pack running backs who have easy schedules towards the end. A lot of the times, they don't pan out that way. So you both got very lucky, and your strategies paid out this year. But any year, fantasy football is crazy, and I stand by that. So I will see y'all next year whenever my first 4 picks don't go on the injured reserve. And then come back week 16 to fill out Dylan's tight end spot. This is stupid. I won't give away Derrick Henry. Then 2 days later, Joe Mixon goes on the IR, and Joe Burrow goes on the IR. No, I'm done.
Yeah, Kittle makes a return. We'll talk about that in a second. So Dylan, just breaking down your team. So after 5 weeks, you were 3-2. You were in the midst of, I mean, that was a 2-game losing streak. You were 3-0. Then you lose 2 in a row to Connor and Trevor. And, everyone's kind of like, okay, Dylan's team might be trending in the wrong direction, but no. You did go on to win week 6 against CBD. You lost week 7 to Caleb. But then after that, you didn't lose again until week 13. You went 6-2 the rest of the way to solidify being the highest scoring team to end the regular season. So let's break down this matchup because you look at the predictions and you really can't get much more even than this in terms of the projected points, which again are meaningless, but this just gives an idea. I mean, you guys are separated by 0.6. So I want to talk about the quarterback battle real quick. Connor's got Josh Allen. You've got Herbert. You got Justin Herbert. Caleb, you look at this matchup. I mean, who are you leaning to? You want Buffalo, who's playing New England, or are you going with Herbert, who's playing your Broncos?
I don't know how it did. Like, every matchup was perfect. Like, it was his strategy this year. He's like, I don't need the best guys all year. I want to get the guys to the best playoff matchup and who are going to put up a good amount of points. And I go for 40. They're going to get you a touchdown because nobody can stop. It was good. He's got a good team. And then you have Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce who can carry that position. And then Justin Herbert, who was, I don't know. It worked out. Props to Dylan. I don't like bragging on him, but I like his team better than Connor's. I don't think Connor. Yeah.
Yeah, if Connor doesn't have Christian McCaffrey, that's a big what if for this week. And if he doesn't, that takes him a pretty massive hit. I mean, that's 20 points potentially, projected wise. And so we'll see if he doesn't play, who he puts in his lineup. We look at this matchup, though, and I think this is really interesting as you look at your schedule. So, Dylan, you're going to have 7 of your 9 guys going either on Saturday or Sunday at noon. 7 of your 9 guys. On the flip side, Connor is going to be playing catch-up on you. He's got 7 out of his 9 going at 3 o'clock Sunday or Monday. He'll have the last laugh with Josh Allen, his biggest weapon potentially, Monday night. That's his last guy. So this is coming down to Monday night, as much as Connor, I know, loves that. Dylan, you hear those stats, you're 7 of 9. You're gonna be on the board early. You're going to need to put a lot of points up. How confident are you to take down Connor and win this thing?
I think the biggest questions for me, obviously my flex spot between Landry and Kittle at this point. I'd like to play Kittle, obviously, but he's coming back from injury. There's not really playing much because they're not playing for anything. It's what Shanahan's up to. I also like Jarvis Landry there, but like my big spots there, I think Kelce has to put up that big gap between Logan Thomas to make up those points. That's what my big point spread is made up in. Antonio Gibson's still questionable right now. If he doesn't play, it's a big hole I have to fill, and it's going to have to be my flex is going to have to make up for it. Dave Montgomery's expecting up good points. Tyreek Hill's going to put up good points for Atlanta. Allen Robinson had a down week last week, but Dave Montgomery did pretty good. Justin Herbert's just got to keep his 19, 22 points, and I feel comfortable about it. If my guys can hit their projections, hit that 140 to 160 point range, I feel good about it. I like Connor's team there. It's a lot of questions for him with CMC as well, and a lot of his guys have looked different, but I think it's going to be a close matchup. I'm kind of scared in general, not scared I'm scared completely to lose. It's just that I like Connor's team, a lot of his matchups as well, but my guys have a good way to go.
I think, how about the losers bracket championship this week? Caleb versus Isaac. The winner of the losers. Anybody care about that one?
Well, no.
Or the loser of the losers.
It's the championship weekend, Matt. Hit for me real quick.
Mason may will take the ACT, but he could lose this week and be last place in Microscope Paper Company.
He could, but with the rules being changed, this game doesn't matter anymore. So that's what happened. I do want to point one thing out real quickly on your matchup, Dylan, with Connor. Connor has 4 guys. He's got right now his tight end, his flex and McCaffrey, his defense, and his kicker all in that Carolina-Washington game. So 4 guys depend upon one game. And then you have 5 guys with 2 games. You got Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce in that battle at Atlanta, and then Montgomery, Robinson, and your defense against Jacksonville. So those are going to be critical games for you guys. If the offenses go quiet in either of those games, it's big trouble. But obviously, again, you all should get some quality points. And if McCaffrey doesn't play again, that's the big question mark. So real quick, we can talk about the rest of the league. I don't think anybody really is caring about their matchup anymore, but I play Jake again. I think we're going to have some fun with our lineups. I'm going to start Jalen Hurts. Why not? Let's have a little fun with it.
Why not? Because he was quarterback 1 last week. I think I'd start him if I had him.
Well, I did have Tannehill, though. He dropped 37. Tough
in the last 3
decision.
weeks, real quick, Matt, in the last 3 weeks,
yeah.
I was going to pick up Jalen Hurts, gone. Browns defense, gone. Baker Mayfield, gone. All of them gone within an hour after I was going to pick them up. And Browns defense, I'll be playing this week. I might even play Baker or Jalen this week over Justin Herbert. But they're all gone to teams that don't matter right now. And it's making me sad.
Baker's been playing. Like, he's a fantasy quarterback now. We can actually talk about him and play him. He's playing good.
Yeah, he's been playing good.
And then Jalen and Kyler, there's going to be so many good quarterbacks next year. Nobody should draft anybody early. Like, Patrick Mahomes might fall in the 4th round if we draft it right. Because you can get Jalen, all those guys late. Oh, there's so many productive in the run.
All right, Caleb, we gotta keep it going.
All right.
Yeah,
It's
this is
been
a
the
good
year.
matchup.
The last one. Let them
CBD and Bryce should be a fun one. Isaac and Caleb. Caleb, you feel good about that one, I'm sure. And
They're the losers.
Trevor and Mason. I think Mason will win. Sorry, Trevor. Okay, so let's talk about what everyone wants to know is about the money situation, and let's talk about the Dundies. So I'm going to hand it off to you, Dylan.
All right, so for the Dundies this year, my face is now gone, but we had 10 key awards, and we also have one more thing that I don't think everyone actually knew about. But for our first big Dundee, per every even week of this season, we had a $5 reward. Going out in week 2, we have CBD, $5. Week 4, SPP, Scranton Paper Products. Week 6, I'm going off the names from the beginning of the year. I want Pam to have my Kittles, week 6 winner. Week 8 and week 12 went to myself, Taco, and week 10 went to Uncle Rico squad. So those are $5 winners for each of those weeks. We then have the next big award, the ceiling, the highest single week score, which went to week 12 myself again. Bryce held it for 5 weeks from week 7 at 193, and CBD had it in week 2, but Taco comes away with it. Then what a lot of people were upset about, we have the Survivor. Player was eliminated each week, $5 again. It went out early. Last week's big guys all went out in the first 4. Then Rico, draft losers. It came down to Trevor, Matt, and Connor McLean. And Connor McLean was the lowest week score, which he almost missed by 1 point when he beat me early on in the season. We then have unlucky, the most points in a single game that lost. That then goes to Matt Marks, 149.72 points in week 7 to Bryce's high week score that week.
That was the worst week.
That was an insane week, and it went on. We then go on to Streaks, which will be split between myself and Connor McLean. We both won 5 in a row. It was held by Caleb and CBD at 4 for a while until week 13. Week 13 would have decided it, but it didn't happen. We then had the highest bench week score. Myself took that at 116.9 over Pam and Lance again at 199.
Dylan
That
just
week
had all the year, didn't he?
Yep, but if Matt had the highest bench score based on his week this year, if that was a postseason performance, but it's based only on a regular season. So Matt, props to that in playoffs. We also have our busted. In week 5, we had a DUI go to Melvin Gordon, giving Scranton Paper Products a little bit of money, $5 to him for that. We also had our margins victory, which again went to me over Rico in that week 12 game. That game solidified a lot of points for me. The Jets nearly won it after beating CBD by 73 points in week 7, but they could not pull it off to hold it on. And then we have finally screwed Caleb, most points with a losing record with I believe the second highest score total, Caleb, or third?
Second
Highest and a losing record. Caleb only gets his money. This would have gone to most likely the Jets or someone, but Caleb decided to lose week 13 maybe, and it gained him $5 there. And then our biggest thing, which is honestly a real thing, head scout, free agency pickup with the most points scored. This race really was ran away early on with James Robinson. If I would have started Justin Herbert from week 1, if I had him, I would have probably won. Antonio Gibson all season probably would have won. Mike Davis all season probably won. But James Robinson came on a Matt's team, I believe, in week 3, scoring 192 points to the regular season. And that is what occurred. And then we have one more award to give away early on. It's underrated. It'll be an anonymous league vote. This anonymous league vote will show up. We'll put it in GroupMe, and that person will leave $5. It's going to be the worst team to finish, but the most potential. We'll all vote on it. So that'll come up soon.
Potential. They were all injured. They weren't potentially injured. We'd be good.
Yep. And then also our last award, which many of you do not know about, we have the Week 17 tournament coming up. Week 17 tournament, myself or Connor McLean will not be involved in. The winner of the league will not be allowed to win it. But it is a chance for every single player in the league to win possibly their entire $20 back. Our Week 17 tournament will go down to the 2nd through the 9th place finishers in the league, or 10th place finishers. The goal of that week will be to set a lineup, not to finish in number 1 for the week, not to finish at number 9 for the week, but to finish at number 5, dead center. So your strategy won't be to play the best players, won't be to play the worst, but you want to be right in the middle of the pack, and that person finishing 5th place will win $20 that week. That gives a chance to anyone, including the Jets, including Cancer, including Scranton Paper Products. Anyone can win that.
Hey, don't worry. I just got to set my lineup like I normally do, and I'm getting that money.
I just got to make sure everybody – it's not a job. Joe Mix anyway, if anybody wants him. Go ahead, pick it up, Dylan. Probably be healthy if you put him on your roster. Gosh.
All right, so we'll start getting this money sent out to everybody.
Yep.
And yeah, I can't believe we're to the end. Now, again, most of you all are at basketball, so we'll be keeping this up on the basketball side, but we've gotten to the end, fellas. This was a good fantasy season.
It was.
Matt, who's your fantasy player of the year?
Fantasy player of the year. Ooh, wow.
Yep.
This is putting me on the spot.
Not member, fantasy player.
No, like individual, like NFL player? Are we talking about?
Individual. Who's your player?
Ooh. I've just got to look at names real quick. I mean,
of the year, I'd say Travis Kelce.
I'm going to go quarterback wise. I've been really impressed with Josh Allen from what he's done this year.
I believe mine are down between Kelsey, Adams, and Aaron Rodgers. I think the Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams connection are insane. I was high on Dalvin Cook early, Kyler Murray early, Alvin Kamara early. I just fell off. I think Kelsey's helped my team a lot, and I think that inside of there, the only two other people really are Adams and Rodgers. And Caleb, who about you?
What am I doing? I thought my player of the year was Travis Kelce.
Okay.
That's why it's number one. Oh, we're still recording. I thought we were done. Yeah.
Yeah, but look for the Week 17 tournament. We might post one more.
Who's the biggest bust of the year?
My biggest bust is going to Joe Mixon. I drafted him in the first round at 7th overall, or a second round at 13th overall.
Not injury related.
Oh. Yikes.
It's got to be
because there were so many injuries.
Juju.
No. We'll just end it here. We'll talk about it later. Have a good week. Have a good season. We'll see you in basketball.